Hello, once again. Welcome to the program Youth and the Road to 2018. My name is Lovejoy Mtongwiza. I'm your host for this program. So, there's been a lot of tango within the ruling party Zanu-PF due to factional lines emanating from the succession dispute. This has also not spared the youths who have been aligned to some factions. One called Lacoste, the other one called G40. I don't know what that means. So, today, we're going to be discussing the existence of the two alleged factions, and this factionalism is threatening to derail Zanu-PF plans ahead of the 2018 elections. So today in the program, I have two former provincial chairpersons. I'll let them introduce themselves for Zanu-PF. These guys, they've been friends and they've been enemies within the political circle. So, gentlemen, welcome to the program. Introduce yourselves. Jim.
My name is Jim Kunaka, former Zanu-PF Provincial Youth Chairman, Harare Province.
In the familiar face.
Yeah, my name is Godfrey Tsenegamu. I'm a former member of the Zanu-PF party and also a former provincial chairman for Machinarian Central from 2009 up to 2015 before I got expelled in 2016.
All right. Let's get into it. I'll start with you, Jim. You guys are both mentioning your former. So tell me about your youth experiences within the ruling party and where you are right now. Where are we with Jim Kunaka?
Okay. Myself, as from 2014, when Joyce Mujuru was expelled from Zanu-PF, I made a mistake that I am still regretting up to today. When I followed her, she formed her own party, Zimbabwe People First, which ended up being the Zimbabwe People Lost. And then I decided to part ways with her after I've shown that there's no leadership qualities in her. So, ndakasiyana nazvo zvaJoy.
Mchiwa madzoka kuZanu-PF.
Ndikati aiwa the only political party yakandirera ndikakura kusvika pandasvika nhasi. Uye yandinoziva it's Zanu-PF. And then I decided to go back and rejoin Zanu-PF. And currently I am a sole member in Zanu-PF.
All right. Changa chamboita kuti mudzoke mumbobuda mumboenda kuna Joyce. Ndiyapi ma-qualities amamboona ana Joyce amakazona kuti aya asiriwo ba.
Apana ma-qualities andakanga ndamboona because chakangoitika ndechekuti I was kidnapped.
Okay.
In 2014. Ndikava nepain yakandirwadza kuti okay, I've worked for my party. I managed to rescue 7 seats in Harare from MDC ndikamadzora kuZanu-PF.
Okay.
But then, is this the reward yandingawana?
You felt underappreciated.
Yes. So ndakarwadziwa nekukidnapwa kwandakaitwa, ndikarohwa ndikanzi. Then Joyce yo andinomboziva kuti akanga ine mentality yekuti ada kumukira president. Takangofunga kuti okay, vice president yo semunhu wese ari muparty.
They have to be loyal.
Yeah, aingosupport vice president. And inini andina a single day yandakamboita a meeting naye kuti nditi kuda amboti anoda kuitawo president. Ndaingomusupportawo ndichiti amai muchangorambawo muri vice president. Nekuti hapana chakashata chandanga ndaona chekuti vangazokwikwidzavo vaMugabe kana kuti chavainacho chiri better than china baba vaMugabe.
All right.
So kuzongomutera kwandakaita yanga yanhau yepain yo yakanga yapindawo mandiri. But unoziva munhu kaita hasha dzegurwe sometimes ukabuda mumwena unochema ropa radambuka makumbo then harizofambi. So
all right. Now ndouya kwamunhu mukoma Godfrey. imimiwo futi muri munhu angarimo mupati mamune chinzvimbo chakangofanana nechava kunaka muri youth provincial chairman for Machi Central muchibva maburitswa mupati right muri mabudo daro muchibva maita zvamuri kuita but ndoda kuti mundiudzewo maexperiences enyu within Zanu-PF zvangu zvakamira sei murimo mukati.
Yeah, fine. When I joined Zanu-PF, I joined Zanu-PF because I believed in the ideals which I thought the party stands for.
Okay.
So I got the motivation and joined Zanu-PF as a young person. So when I joined Zanu-PF, I managed to rise through the ranks.
All right.
Up to the level I became the provincial chairman when I got elected in Mashonaland Central Province. While I was in the party, I will fast forward it to 2014, which may be of critical importance to this discussion.
All right.
In 2014, we were told that the president of the party was under siege.
All right. You were told by who?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Okay, fine.
We were told that the president of the party was under siege.
Okay.
From the second secretary of the party,
Oh.
who happened to be the vice president also in the party, Maim Juru.
Okay. Okay.
So it was only when we got the chance to have a one-on-one interaction with the party secretary himself
President
at his official residence at State House in August 2014, if I'm not mistaken, when he highlighted to us as youth chairpersons then that he was under siege. And because during that period I had also been suspended by what I would term, what was to me Maim Juru's team in Mashonaland Central Province. They suspended me for 6 months and procedurally.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the president said she was scheming against him and doing all sorts of things, I then happened to believe in him and said, no, maybe he's sincere in what he's saying, that she's planning to unseat him. So I joined the president's side in trying to do what I thought was the legitimate thing of defending him from an attack. So we participated during that period in dethroning Maim Juru from her position as vice president in the party. As young people, we were very, very critical. We were 7 youth chairpersons who could escort the Secretary for Women Affairs, now Maim Gabe, to her initial rallies, meet the people to rallies in 2014. So after that, then the leadership came back to us and said, no, look, we have to get to the second round. We dealt with Maim Juru, but we have also not dealt with another faction. The Mnangagwa faction, we made a blunder by appointing one faction leader to be a vice president when we thought we were dismantling factionalism in the party. And we said, okay, fine. So you want us to get involved again in dealing with Mnangagwa? And they said yes. And I said, no, we cannot do that again. Because for me, we had not dealt properly and constitutionally with Maim Juru. No binding allegations were presented before her. She was not even tried or even brought before a disciplinary committee. She wasn't. So he said, no, you want us to do the same on Mnangagwa. Why? We have to exhaust Maim Juru's case first. So we then fall out of favor with the leadership. Till a time when I got suspended from Mashonaland Central for 5 years, and when I got suspended, I then became so vocal, though I was at some point vocal within the structures of the party, saying out everything that I thought maybe was going wrong at party forums. But now that I had been suspended, I felt that I was not being given the chance to air out my views constitutionally as is provided for by the party constitution. So I started addressing press conferences, saying out what I think, pointing out at what I thought were things that were going wrong in the party. So that's when I also got expelled from the party till this time. But in May 2015, well, before I got suspended in December 2015, I came up with a youth forum, which I mentioned in another program, the Youth Affirmative Action Assembly of Zimbabwe. And now I am leading Zimbabwe Youth Assembly, which is an inclusive platform for all young people of Zimbabwe, where I want to impart the little that I have from the experience that I had in Zanu-PF and all the interactions that I had with the leadership, and what I think is the best thing for the young generation and for the nation of Zimbabwe as a whole.
All right, interesting, interesting. Now I'll come to you, Comrade Jim. Emi makabuda mpati, makadzoka mpati. Life outside the party, ingakamira safe for you.
Purposely difference, Mkoma.
Sanja kangofanana.
Yeah, because inini I was totally empowered by Zanu-PF. So there was nothing to cry. And I was enjoying my life as normal.
All right, you're talking about empowerment. Yeah, so are you one of the, let me not say few, but one of the youths who have benefited from President Mugabe's empowerment scheme?
Really?
What have you benefited?
I've managed to get a farm, and I'm doing my farming.
Okay.
Every season, I'm farming.
All right.
And my family is enjoying. I don't understand those young people out there who are always crybabies, that we can't see where is the empowerment. When the president says something, it's up to you, as young as you are, to run around and get those opportunities.
Okay.
Those who are crying, especially from Zanu-PF, complaining that we did not see the empowerment.
Yes, yes.
They are lazy. They expect the president to come to their houses and say, I've come with empowerment. There's nothing like that. You need to think. The policies are there. The money was given from different banks.
All right.
To the bank in order for you to get that money. But the problem with other people, they thought if you use the name of the party, if you want to borrow money from the banks, you will get it. That's wrong.
Okay.
We need to separate politics from business.
All right, fine. So let me take you back to what you guys were saying. I can see in all these matrix, pane nyaya yekuti my youth ndo ari pa forefront the politics Zanu-PF. And as I said earlier pa introduction yangu pakuti we can't ignore kuti ma factions ari mu Zanu-PF. So ndiudzewo kuti from isusu vari kunze tinoti my youth ndo vari kushandiswa. Is it true kuti imimi sema youth especially mache ndimi muri kushandiswa kurwa hondo dzevakuru?
Okay, yeah, I think before I get to that question, I would want to make some submissions on what Comrade Jim was saying in terms of empowerment issues and experiences outside the party. Especially for a young person who has been hustling and doing all sorts of things on your own. You may not notice the difference of you having been chucked out of the party and you being in the party. But if you were one who relies on handouts from my chef, you were one who would use the name of the party in moving around, trying to open up avenues for yourself, then you have a challenge. But I would also want to challenge my brother Jim to say, look, we have to be very, very truthful in our submissions.
All right, all right.
He must state it that, you lose some of the opportunities that maybe you were enjoying when you were part of that system. The benefits which come along with your position.
Okay.
I would give, for example, like here in Harare, when you're a provincial chairman, there are certain incentives. I'm not sure if it's the right term to say incentives. There are certain things that you can access.
Or maybe benefits.
Yeah, maybe benefits or whatever that you can access as a youth leader.
Okay.
Go to Mpedzanamo, go to Glenview Area 8, go to Magaba, go to Mbare Msika. There are monies coming out of there for the youth leadership, which also at some point Comrade Jim used to benefit from. So for him to say he's not missing anything, that would be a blue lie. You see, I'm not accusing him of anything, but I'm saying these are some of the things that come along with being in power. So when you are out of power, depending with your area, you may be missing something. Okay. We have to be realistic. Look at the plight of Comrade Mtasa and others who are out of Zanu-PF. You understand when we say you may be losing out on certain things. But my point is, when we are in there, I'll tell you one thing. Unengo uchifarira power and whatever it comes with. Zvinofanana nekufarira mari yechikwambo. Inoya nechikwambo. Urikuwana mari yoyo on the basis yekuti urikupota uchipira hama dzako kuchikwambo. Anditika uchipa ropa kuchikwambo icho chichikupa mari. Gorera unomira zvechikwambo izvozvo anditika you lose everything. Chinotanga chakuparadzira pfume yachakakupa chizoparadza iwewe. That is, I'm saying it because we have seen it happening.
Okay.
You see. So now coming to your question about factions on whether young people are the ones being used or whatever. Fine. I've seen it. I've seen it. Where young people get themselves involved in I was one of them in these factional fights. But for me to say I was sent by somebody to get involved. Fine, for 2014, it's true, the leadership mobilized us into the factional fights against Maimjuru. But after that, I said, no, I'm not going to be mobilized anymore. So when you saw me doing everything, it was, but I was doing it by myself. Not even Munanga or anyone was sending me to do anything. So the majority of the young people you see in Zanu-PF getting involved in factional fights, they are doing it on their own, thinking that maybe by doing so they may get favors from the leadership, assuming that maybe when it's either a G40 leader comes in or a Lacoste leader comes in, I may get some recognition and get some appreciation from them. So for me to say it is the leadership which is using young people, no, it's not. It's the young people themselves who are availing themselves for abuse to the leadership. You see, so as much as leadership may take advantage of young people and use them, but it is because the young people have consented to that. They are availing themselves for abuse. So we cannot give the whole blame to Vasharukwa. It also goes to Vadik. In one way or the other, young people have also become accomplices. In whatever that is happening. So wakuru vanongoya kuti urura kushandiswa, then they will use it because you have allowed them to do so.
All right, fine. It'll be very unfortunate if I don't give Comrade Jim kuti respond to my allegations amaita apa. So Comrade Jim.
No, they were not real allegations, but there were issues I was just raising and say no, he must be truthful in his submissions.
So before I move on to my next question, I think I'll give this opportunity to Comrade Jim.
And the first mukoma wangu vataura kuti kumusangano kunowanika ma opportunities but ukasa zvipusha iwewe sadunga munhu nai kuti remangwana rangu rinofana kunge rakamira zvakaita sei unosara mumashure. Ataura nhau yembare musika, ataura nhau yempedzanamo, that's informal sectors dzakacreatwa nemusangano. Glenview area 8 kunovezwa mawardrobes, kunovezwa zvakasiyana siyana. Mupedzanamo kunotengeswa hembe dzemabhero kana vanonohodha kuna South Africa kwakadaro. Handiti saka kana ini ndikagona kunohodha mabhero angu ndikanovhura mupedzanamo ndikaita mari yangu, ndaona zvine opportunity yekuti ndiite mari inogona kundiraramisa. uyu murume uyu anobva aitungamirira the most richest province in Zimbabwe, Mashonaland Central. Kungodaiso chete pa Maubra anditi goridhe anditi vaingomhanya vachita toitoi vasingafunge ravo remangwana. Chii chakamutadzisa kuenda kumaoffices emines kunoti ndauyawo inini as a citizen of this country ndoda kuaplayawo maini ndiwanewo pekuchera goridhe. Fama anaro akariwana, kana asina kuriwana udera hwake, nekuti it was open to everybody kuti anoda farm apply ku Ministry of Lands and it uwane farm. But dambudziko raiva nevanhu ava vaifunga kuti vachafa vari machairman vasingazive kuti kune upenyu unoda kuraramwa after zvigaro. Ofuchina nhasi ndozvo vanofunga kuti ini ndaikolekta mari ndichidii. Kwete, I'm clean handina mari yandaitora.
Okay,
we can move around and ask vanhu vacho vanokutaurirai, but ndaitova protector.
How?
Panhau yekuti especially ukapinda mutaundi council yaiti iyo hatidi kunzwa kuti kuna windi, hatidi kunzwa zvakazoti handiti. Ini ndoti aiwazvo ko kana kusina mabasa tatombowana kuti apa pane opportunity yekuti ndikakulodhera mota yako wondisirawo dhora ididi chakaipa chii. Munhu achishamarara bare Glenview mota yako yozara wondisirawo dhola. Ezve exchange ini ndaita basa iwe wondibhadharawo dhola handiti. Nekudaro vazhinji mayouth womuHarare vakararama nezvipi? Vakararama naizvozvo. Handiti ndikatofaita kuti ndaida kuti zvilegalizwe, kuti zvinge zviri pamutemo vasasungwa handiti zvikarambawo hazvo. But handizivi kuti murume uyu sei asina kuwana maini. Handizive kana aine mapepa aakaita akarambirwa. Kana akanga asina ruzivo aidi kubvunzawo chairman wemucapital city kuti zvinofambiswa sei, tomubatsira kuti zvinoitwa sei, zvinonyorwa sei, tinodai. Dambudziko randakaona mune vamwe vangu vaifunga kuti zvese zvinongoda kuti musangano uvaitire, ivo vakarelaxa.
Saka tiri kuti mayouth, okay, not necessarily Comrade Tsenegamu,
sure,
but mamwe mayouth havana njere dzekuita kuvhura maopportunities muupenyu hwavo.
The opportunities are there already.
Havana njere dzeinvestment.
Yes.
Saka toita sei kuti tivape njere, voita sei?
I think kunotomboda kuitwa ma-workshops
emayouth.
Okay, rega ndidaiso mukoma. Takaona His Excellency vachikomishina nyaya yekuvhurwa kwemugwagwa
Harare
Bed Bridge. Tikanobvunza izvozvi kuti kune here mayouth vakamboisawo ma-application yekuti aiwa isu tinokwanisawo kuti tinge tichigadzirawo mugwagwa uyu, nekuti hapana chinoshamisira pakugadzirwa kwemugwagwa. And I've made my application there.
Okay.
But tikavabvunza kuti makaitei hapana, then that opportunity ikatorwa nema-big fish otanga kuchema aiwa onai vanongopanana vega nananhingi. Aiwazvo wakamboitera application yako ikarambwa, ndo pane nyaya. They don't apply nekuti vanenge vakateya kuda kuzoti haiwa vanopanana vega. Of course tikaona kuti hapana ari kupa mhanyira apa, tinongotora akatopawo nhingi kuti basa rifambe. Hatingamirire ka vanhu vari lazy isusu ka kuti nyika ifambe.
Alright. Rege ndipoze mubvunzo kwamuri mese anosoti ndiani achatanga kuutora. Panyaya yematenda nekuwana ma-opportunities uku, there have been accusations yekuti those in the Zanu-PF party ndo vanobenefita kana kuti vanotanga kubenefita. Bringing in nyaya yekuti kune Harare Bed Bridge. Don't you think kuti mayouth wo ese enyika, be it from MDC Zanu-PF, vanofana kunge vachibenefitawo?
Okay, fine. I will take that question, but before I respond to the question, I would want to just make a single submission to what Comrade Jim has been saying. It's very true that there is a tendency within young people of thinking that they will remain young and of looking at themselves as small kids, just wanting some handouts from a chef, like I said before, of thinking that maybe they will remain leaders within the party, like he had rightly said. When I was, before I was chairman, I got a farm. I've got my own farm, yeah, which I got. I got 2 mining claims. The first one in Bindura, then the other one in Shamba, in Chakonda area. I've got my 2 mining claims, small claims where I'm juggling, trying to make, hustling, trying to make ends meet. From that point, it's not a big venture; it's a small venture. Why? Because mines are not being sold. No one is selling mines to anyone, but it's just that you need to pay administration fees. So that you get your licenses, you do your things legally. I was one of the people who was at the forefront, even when I was chairman, saying this government must legitimize chikorokoza. Ndichiti nini munoda here kuti mwana akasangana negoride achikoke makumbo nekutiza achitiza goride rake munyika yake onzi nokoma achikoke makumbo chidunzi ndaona goride. Why? Because ndikaonekwa nemapurisa ndiri pedyo naro ndinosungwa. Can we do that? Ask Minister Kasukwera. He will tell you now. In 2012 at concession, when we had our provincial 21st February movement, I said that. It's on record. I was saying, no, look, you have to open up opportunities for young people. And on that point, I also said, now we are kudya kagumbezeke mchando. When I was also challenging young people to say, no, look, you cannot just sit and relax and say, it must come to you. It will not. You have to make an effort. So maybe he was not aware that I have my 2 mining claims. Maybe if he is comfortable, I can even rent one of it to him so that at least he can maybe try to get something. But my point is, he is very correct to say we have a tendency as young people of thinking that maybe everything must be given to us on a silver platter. It will not happen. Opportunities are there. And when there are no opportunities, we have to create opportunities by ourselves. I would want to say, when Jim was chairman in Harare, fine, he would run around trying to make ends meet, getting some cash here, getting some cash there, which I would not want to condemn. It was something that was within his reach. You see, it's not a crime. Even if he got married from Marengs, even if he got married from Pedzanamo, no, it was something that was within his reach. And it's something that everyone else is doing today. So why should it be criminalized on Jim alone to say, why did you do it? Because you have all the towns in town. They are doing it every day. You have everyone, even Wakuru Mapurisa, getting their percentages from the ranks. He knows it. So why should it be put? So why should it be put?
I don't know that.
Okay, fine. Let me finish on that one. So why should it be put on a single person to say so and so was just doing this as if no one else is doing it or is involved? Then coming to the question that you raised in terms of tenders, I've seen young people who are not taking up opportunities that are availing themselves. 2, I've also seen Madara not also wanting young people to be empowered. Because deliberately, they would want you to continue begging them so that you remain their subject. Why? Because they are used to seeing you calling.
It's like your life depends on them.
Exactly. Otokumbira chef andapera airtime. Okay, regando kutumira. So the moment yauchatanga kurega kufona, achanetseka kuti saka kana asisa wane airtime kwandiri ari kuiwana kunani. So you must continue to beg them. You must continue to be on your knees regarding them as your God for survival. So this is also, so it's two-sided. We have young people who are not taking up opportunities or creating opportunities for themselves. And we also have a leadership which is deliberately elbowing out young people from deals. We have a leadership which has got a tendency of creating vafana vane mari outside the party structures.
Okay.
And impoverishing their own in the party, so that these people continue to be loyal to them. But vafana vari kunze vachita cash.
Okay, all right.
So kana amadhiri emari vanoita nevamwe vafana. But vane vafana vari mupati. Anditika kana vakada kukupa dhiri, vanokupa dhiri rimwe, vanogona kukupa rimwe dhiri rine moto. Anditika wopinda muchidhiri cheche, wapinda mudhiri, they will use that deal mangwana ukada kumutsa musoro.
Okay.
Yeah, kuti no uri kuziva here kuti gorere so wakambodai so you find boys wearing black suits and magogros vakamira padhora ako vachikunokera kuti ko nhau iyi comrade Tsenegamu yegorere yakazenge yafamba sei. So it will quickly come to your mind, now handisisina protection. So what do? You then go back to them and say, mukuru na andikarasika ndadini.
That's okay.
That's okay, because they will use that to continue to blackmail you and manipulate you in the future. So then you also have some, though there are few, who are genuine, who also give these opportunities to young people, but they are very, very few. The majority avasi kuguta vari kudya zvekubaya dura sekunge ivo ndivo magotwe enyika.
All right, Comrade Jim, you want to say something?
I'm very happy that my colleague here is actually accepting that there is total empowerment in Zanu-PF.
No, I was not saying
And that one is
Zanu-PF.
a fact.
I'm not saying about Zanu-PF. I'm saying as young people, these are experiences, whether in MDC, people faced or Zanu-PF. I'm not talking about the party.
Okay. Trikuti isusu one man, one mind.
All right.
Atonditaridza kudhara atori corrupt. You see? Pakuti atori ne two maclaims.
Apa kutori nemwe asina.
Kune mumwe ari kutochema kuti ina handitorina. Iye ane two.
Okay.
What it means, akashandisa position yake when he was provincial youth chairman of Mashonaland Central to acquire those two claims.
But mimi Comrade Jim mangamutaura nyaya kuti kana uri muposition momuka shandisa inonzi position yokuti to elevate yourself.
You have aufana kuva greed.
Okay.
One ndatora zvanaka. Kana pazoya mukano kuti pane imwe yawaona yakashama, wadi kurongerawo vamwewo vechidiki vatorewo. Even vice wake kana kuunganidza vana vekusero kana kubranch. Anditi kana even varimo muprovince imomo kuti aiwa ndakupewo penya pamuri 10. Chirana iclaim yenyi. Fama anaro. Andizive kuti ari kurima here nekuti handisandambosangana naye kumaflows kana kuGMB.
Okay. All right.
It must be of those farms that tiri kuti tofana kudziita repossess or todzicheka nekuti dziri kurimwa chisora.
All right.
Vachisaboteja hurumende kuti zvingonzi muZimbabwe mune nzara. I want to visit to his farm today. After this, I will go with him and see kuti ari kuitei kufarm ikoko.
So these programs are kuiswa na President Mugabe.
No, pane nyaya yematenda akamukoma.
All right, fine, it's okay. All right.
Ataura uyu. Inini ndiri mumwe wevanhu akaramba kushandiswa and handisi level yekupiwa $20. Ndakatosvikawo palevel yekupa. Not to be given. I'm not a spade inofamba yakangodai all the time waiting to receive.
Okay.
No. Ndakutopawo. Because I was empowered. I don't beg anyone else. I don't need anything from anyone else within the party. What I want my party to do is to create an opportunity for me to work very hard and get money. Simple.
Okay. All right. Ndakada kubvunza kuti handiti mota nyema empowerment programs ari kuitwa kai. Ma programs anonzi ari kubva kuna President Mugabe handiti.
Really sure.
But kana aenda kuma youth kwamuri imi machairman ndichizvidzika kumaseo zvinozotanga kuita corruption mukati. But kana mukuru vakuudzwa musoro zvine chinzi zviri right. Vari kuzviziva here zvinhu izvi ndozviri kuitika pasi. Ma programs avo kuti ari kushanda mimi sema former chairs and what not muri kumashandisa zvinhu izvi kuti to your own benefit muchiita na vamwe.
Ipapo mukoma mataura zvakanaka. Baba Mugabe vanomira papodium. Votaura zvavataura palevel yavo. Zvodzika.
Zviya kuvanhu.
zvouya pane imwe level vachitarisira kuti zvinofana kudzika zvakare kubva pathat level zvichidzika again pane imwe level handiti dambudziko rinozoitika zvasvika pana shamwari yangu Tsenegamu zvagara patebhuru atanga kutaridza kuti bhebhi rangu rakati rinofana kuenda munin'ina wangu uyu anofana kuenda hama yangu imwe inofana kuenda kana kuti takuti aiwazve imbotanga wandipowo ka kickback kuti ndikutambidzawo chinhu chipi chinhu ichi asi ivo baba vamugabe kuti vazozviziva zvinogona kutora nguva nekuti dzimwe nguva iwewe pauri hauna link yekuti uvaone one on one ugone kutaura navo kana kuti maziso avo ari paground dzimwe nedzenguva inini ndindiri paground I'm a junior officer ndikanyora ripoti yangu ndichitema iwewe kana kuti ripoti yanyorwa iri kutema Tsenegamu ini ndini ziguru rake zvichinosvika pandiri ndikaona muina Tsenegamu ndototanga ndarabha zvaTsenegamu handiti ndonyora mune zvakanaka nekuti ndinowo zvandiri kubenefita kubva kunani kuna Tsenegamu ndo dambudziko rataita munyika medu munomu but chokwadi chiripo vamugabe vazama kumbopa asi vari kupiwa vacho njere ndo pasina
ndo song yavachipanga iya
vakaimbapo paya ndogara ndichiiterera misi nenguva.
Okay, I wanted to make this response and say no look nyika ino ine policy ye one man one farm.
Okay.
That in terms of mineral claims that you may have, there is no such policy.
Okay.
Which says one kamugodi ke goride. I'm not aware that there is such a policy. And for anyone to think that it's corruption, it's not. Because there was no point at which the party gave mineral concessions to party members. There was no such arrangement. If Comrade Jim can say it, kuti pane pakapiwa migodi ne party, there was no such program. Like yeah, I initiated those things on my own. In the same way that everyone else is doing it. You need to go to mining ministry Pazimre center and facilitate your papers by yourself. Not even saying I'm a provincial chairman, because these are not party things. This is my personal venture. In the same way that Jim may be having 2 houses in Harare. In the same way that he may have the opportunity to collect whatever that he collected, whether from Mpezanamo, Market Square, 4th Street, wherever. Those were opportunities that were availed to him. Though fine through the party jacket. But when it comes to mining claims, I registered the mining claims by my own, using my own resources. Yeah, because it's a personal venture. Like he rightly said before, you have to differentiate between a party and a business. Yes. So this is business. It has got nothing to do with the party. And like he rightly said, uchingova pa maubra, kwenda kweso ku igoride. Anditi. Hapana munhu anonzi pano papane mugodi, ndiwe unototsvaga kuti pano pane goridhe. Anditi unotoenda wopiwa prospecting license or prospector ozvinobhadhara mari yapega wopegerwa obhadhara mamepe and everything. Hapana panonzi no pano papane mine. Unototsvaga kungosvika so ngoti no pano papangaite goridhe. You look at the features dzinogona kubatsira kuti identify mine. So for my former chairman wemu urban, he may not be having an idea kuti migodi inotsvagwa say, so he may be thinking kuti no migodi yaita zvokutonzi pane umwe. So andigone kutsvaga mugodi, andigone kutsvaga mugodi. No, sorry. Maybe if you can allow him to. In the same way that he had his opportunity to say out whatever he was saying, all this I was quiet. I think so he must respect my right of reply. So I am saying, when I registered my mines, my small claims, this was not being facilitated in a party. I did it by myself. Unless if he is to say there was such a program that was initiated by the party, he has to put it before you and prove it. But I'm saying to you, there was no such program. This very hour, even if you go to Zimre Center, unotona vanhu variko nemapega akagara panze pai. Anditi vari kutomirira vanhu vekubatsira. Havasi vanhu veparty. They are doing their business.
No, my dear friend.
So in terms of thinking kuti migodi inopiwa neparty, kune vanhu veMDC vane migodi, kune vanhu veNPP vane migodi. These are opportunities availed to every citizen, despite the fact that uri Zanu-PF or MDC. Okay. So for anyone to want to politicize opportunities, it's very criminal. And it cannot be allowed.
No,
huh?
no.
We don't have to stoop so low to a point where people think opportunities belong to Zanu-PF, mines belong to Zanu-PF, or farms belong to Zanu-PF. It's not it. That's unconstitutional. Okay. These resources belong to everyone. So if Jim wants a mining claim, I will have to teach him how he can access one. In the same way that he should have taught me how to get money from touts and ranks.
All right, come Jim, you want to say something?
You see, chino chiri kundinakidza pana mukoma wangu anditi. Ndikatarisa time yavaka-applya anditi kuti vari kuda a claim. Kune munhu akanga ato-applya anditi before him anditi. Munhu iyena nhasi haasati awana that claim. Okay. Because he was a provincial chairman of the party. The party helped him to get his papers done so quickly.
If you can explain how. Explain how.
You know, the Minister of Mines is a member of what? Of Zanu-PF. It's something that is very clear.
Were you there when I met him? Were you there? Or it's an assumption?
It's not an assumption.
Were you there?
Remember, I was also a provincial chairman, just like you.
Were you there?
How many times did we visit the Minister of Local Government? By that time was Obet Mpof.
Local government?
Of Minister of Mines.
Of Mines, yes.
How many times?
You guys both went together.
Yes.
No, that's a blue line.
Including all the provinces.
No, you are a Christian. You mustn't lie.
No, I'm not lying.
You are a Christian.
You know, if I was aware that I'm going to be asked this question, I would bring some minutes here.
Okay. I think we will organize another interview where you guys will bring out your minutes and whatever.
I just want to prove it.
So that my claims are they will be substantiated. Because by now it's your word against his. Now it's also we are unprivileged that this is reading.
This also. But nyaya kuti angazviramba hakanditi. Of course, apana zvandingaite. Regai arambe. But one day, I will come here ndakabata evidence yekuti onai varume. Munoti taigara pasi. Tofurirana kuti varume onai tinofane nzara. Toita sei. Ngatidai. Musangano woti supporter. Zvakaipa kuramba kuti musangano wakandibatsira kuti ndinge ndine ichi neichi. Zvakangonaka kuti ndibvume pandiri kuti aiwa Tsenegamu Joshua akandibatsira ndichitsvaga famu kuti ndiri wane uko. Handisi kuti ndiye akandipa but akandibatsira.
So we have my ministers vari kubetsera my youth based on partisan grounds.
No.
No, that's what you are saying.
Listen, my friend.
I'm just quoting you, Comrade Kunaka.
Ukaenda kuya. Kana kuti rega ndipe mufananidzo wokudai ndiwe maybe ini ndotokukuzivawo wasvika pamwe ndiri minister kuofisi kwangu uri kuda kubatsirika hani ndizvozvo ndogona kupusha mapapers ako so faster than nemwe munhu wandisingatombozivawo kuti uyu anonzani.
So it's happening within
it's happening even uka minister weMDC ndikaenda inini personally kuministry anditi ichitukamirwa naminister weMDC kusvika kuti ndijim heroyu vanobva ngoti Zanu-PF chipangano hapana chichafamba ipapo. I've been applying land in Harare kusito of Harare
but muri kutadza kuiwana
handiiwane handisandaiwana kusvika ndaita give up ndatosiya that business because ndakaona kuti handipiwe.
So you think kuti kusaiwana kwenyu kuri kunzwa nekuti muri kuZanu-PF and
because ndiri kuZanu-PF kanzu riri kuranwa neMDC anditi ende zviripo zviri clear izvozvozvo handingambozvirambi. Saka nyaya yekuti mukoma wangu avaka zvimwe ngavabvume havo zvimwe voramba nekuti nhasi vaapanze handiti vakuda kuramba kuti vakanga vachibatsirwa nezanu-PF kuti vasvike pavasvika nhasi. It's bad. Zanu-PF yakatibatsira iye neni hongu yapanze ini ndakamboenda panze ndikakurumidza kuona ndikadzoka. Iye achida kuramba haka ari panze regai ambotaura.
All right, interesting.
Okay, fine. Maybe concluding on this one. What
we need to wrap up this one.
Yeah, to wrap up on this one. What I wanted to say was, and still is, there was at no point, there wasn't any time at any point when the party assisted me to get mining claims.
Okay.
Yeah, I will stand on that one and defend myself and say, who did assist me on that one? Nobody. I did it by myself.
But you agree that some ministers are propping up some news?
I'm getting it from Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm getting it now from him that certain ministers in government are excluding some other people from benefiting from government programs on the basis of their political affiliation. So it's being said by Jim here, and I'm getting it here now.
All right.
But my point is, if by any means the party had assisted me to acquire those mines, and in the same way that I fell out of favor with the party leadership, they would have grabbed those mines from me.
Okay.
On the very same day I got out of the party and started saying some of these issues I've been saying in my press conferences. So it is because I acquired the claims by myself. Huh? So my submission is, people, like even when I was in Zanu-PF, must not be be excluded from benefiting from government programs on the basis of their political affiliation. But because the problem is there, like he has rightly said, it has to be dealt with. If he is not in a position to access land because the city of Harare is being run by MDC officials, then it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But like he has pointed out, that ministers can assist him. I think he has got the chance to go to Minister Kasukwere, since Minister Kasukwere is Zanu-PF, so that if what he was saying was true, so that Minister Kasukwere can give a directive to the subordinates in the councils to say, no, you
That
must
would be
give.
an abuse of office now.
All right, gentlemen.
I can't do that.
All right, gentlemen, we need to wrap up this.
I will continue fighting my own way until I get there.
All right, fine. All right, so this is the program Youth and the Road to 2018, where we are talking to former Zanu-PF provincial chairpersons, Comrade Jim Kunaka and Comrade Godfrey Tsenegamu. All right, gentlemen, now we need to move on from these personal things. Now we need to talk about national things, right? We have got the 2018 elections coming up, and we've got a lot of presidential candidates who are there. We've got President Mugabe and Morgan Tsvangirai. Now I have to choose. I have to make you choose between other candidates around. Who do you think is going to win and why? And who would you vote for? Comrade Tsenegamu.
Okay, for me, now look, in the past, I would support President Mugabe. I was a Zanu-PF member, not just a member, but I was also a position holder under that party. So I would normally I would vote for President Mugabe. But now look, I no longer have any reason why I should vote for him now. I appreciate what he has done for this country, for all of us to be where we are today. He remains my hero. He remains my personal hero. Okay. He is human. He has got his own strengths. He has got his own weaknesses. But for some reasons, now I cannot act against my conscience by voting him again in 2018. Why? Because I feel he has not done what he had promised us when we voted for him in 2013. In 2013, he promised to indigenize. He has not indigenized. He has totally abandoned the indigenization program. In 2013, he promised to develop. I have not seen any development.
Okay.
I've seen infrastructure dilapidating, getting to stages where you see you can't even think that this used to be an infrastructure which was viable in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, he promised to empower.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen anyone being empowered. Maybe if there are just a few people within the ranks.
You have someone like Psychology Mazivisa recently made remarks that Zanu-PF created 3.3 million jobs on the. Okay, fine. In 2013, they had promised 2.2, and then he's saying they surpassed that to 3.3. What's your take on that?
Okay, fine. Like I said, they had promised to indigenize, to empower, to develop, and lastly, to employ. We promised the people as Zanu-PF in 2013 that we will employ and create jobs at around 2.2 million.
Yes.
But to be very, very frank, in terms of formal jobs, which were the ones that were promised, I'm not sure if any has been created. What I witnessed were people losing out their jobs, even in government entities, in parastatals, in private sectors where we had companies closing. So in terms of job creation, I'm sure Zanu-PF has failed. But for me then to say, to argue with Mazivisa in terms of his definition of a job,
Yes.
I was there at Sapes Trust,
Yes.
where he said even if I give you a chance to wash my clothes, that's a job. So in terms of that, fine. We have so many people who have lost their formal jobs. We have now become housemaids. We have now become garden boys. We have been turned into vendors.
So Zanu-PF's promise was vague. It didn't state formal or...
No, it was not vague. It's just that Mazivisa is trying to play with people's minds, thinking that Zimbabweans are fools. People are not fools. But it is because that question was posed to him. So he had to find an answer to that. But in terms of being sincere, he knows that the party has failed to create 2.2 million jobs. But as a politician, fine, he must find an answer to every question. But then the thing is, people are no longer fools. People know. Young people who graduated from 2013 to this day, expecting to get a job, and Mazivisa talks of giving you a chance to wash his clothes or even his inner garments, and claims that to be a job. That's an insult. So the president has been going to all state universities, capping graduates. And then someone comes out and claims that we have created jobs for you. That's an insult. Even it's better for Mazivisa to say we have tried, but we have challenges, but we are in the process of doing so. People would understand that than to say no, we have surpassed the target when we had people losing jobs. It's very unfortunate. But you would expect that from him because he's singing for his supper.
All right, fine. Comrade Jim Kunaka also throw the same question to you. Who would you vote for, and who do you think is going to win, and why?
Your question, Shamar, is an obvious answer. My blood. Even if you cut me right now here.
You bleed Zanu-PF.
Yes. Saka, vote yangu is obvious, but I'm Dara Bobo.
But at 93...
Even at 105, I will go for Mugabe.
Why?
I'm voting for his wisdom. It's not all about age. It's about the wisdom.
Right. Which brings me to my next question, Comrade Kunaka. We have got my youth, Varimam Pat. You included. Don't you harbor any, presidential ambitions one day? Maybe. Let's say in the next 10 years. You're talking about President Mugabe.
We'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
So for now, you're not concerned about Papa.
I still need to rise with the ranks. So when that time comes, I will let you know.
So munabasa nezvokuti Papa zoita youth leader kana kuti pazodi.
When the time comes, I will just contest. I will just throw my name in the basket and say I want to be a youth leader at national level.
And then, all right, fine. While we stated that, I was trying to avoid this issue, G4 Lacoste and whatnot. But then I think it's something that we can also talk about.
Maybe, sorry, before you get to that,
Okay.
I'd left out certain things pertaining to that question that you had posed to me.
Okay.
The problem that we have as a nation is as much as Zanu-PF through its leader has failed to. No, sorry. Can I explain? So
can you guide my friend?
You will be given the chance.
He's not talking on behalf of the nation, but for himself.
Okay,
because
just 1 minute,
I'm also
Comrade
part of
Tsenegamu,
the nation,
and then you
I'm
wrap
not
up and
in
then give him
agreement
to-
with what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying this because Jim must agree to it. No, I'm not speaking on his behalf.
Are you the mouthpiece of the nation?
I'm not speaking on his behalf. So if you can restrain him from.
All right, gentlemen.
Okay, go ahead, my
I think let's give each other, a chance to speak.
Okay, let's
Right.
go ahead, my friend.
Go ahead, Comrade
No,
Tsenegamu.
that's okay. So my point is, you have on this side Zanu-PF, which has failed to deliver as per its promises, the 2013 promises, because I was part of it. I was a youth leader. So when the party said we indigenize, we empower, we develop, we employ, I had every reason to believe in that.
You were happy.
Yes. Who was not? At the prospects of getting 2.2 million jobs, who would not vote for that? When someone says we are going to empower, and you want to be empowered, you want the opportunities, you want an environment which you are able to even make money. Who doesn't want that? So that was the basis why I rallied young people to vote for Zanu-PF. And this is why I rallied young people to vote for President Mugabe as the Zanu-PF candidate on that basis, that they were going to be developed, empowered, employed, and everything that Zanu-PF had promised. But now that promise has been broken. Nothing has happened. So you cannot entrust against someone who has failed in fulfilling his promise and give him another chance. You can't. Because like on my side, time is running out. Why should I? Then the other problem that we now have is there has been no serious opposition that has managed to provide a lucrative alternative for the young people. They failed. All their business is Mugabe must go. They are not providing an alternative. They don't have anything to give to young people, even in terms of their promises or anything that they think they can do as a political parties. So we have a dilemma as young people. We are found between a hard place and a rock. Zanu-PF has failed, and equally you have a confused opposition.
So, what is the?
So for me, I have not yet decided who I will vote for in terms of a presidential candidate. But in terms of a parliamentary candidate, I will vote for myself because I'm standing. I'll vote for myself.
All right.
I will vote for Mugabe. I was totally empowered. I'm happy with the life that I'm living today.
But
ndinotobudawo pamba pangu ndokiya door gate kuti nderangu anditi ndikatosvikawo ndovhurawo neremote ndichipindawo, of which ndakanga ndisingazvitarisire kuti ndozvandichava. Kune vanotouyawo kuzobhadhara kuti rendroad tauyawo ka mari baba emba yenyu yatiri kugara. It's because of empowerment. But kana varume ava vakaita mari through empowerment, vaka misuse by humanizing, then they are crying foul today and say hatinamboona empowerment. Muno makato create employment matakagara munomu. Izvi zvatiri kutoita izvi handifunga kuti zvinhu izvi ndezvaminista izvi kana ndezvanini. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4 people here vari pamalaptops vari kutoita basa so zvinhu zviri kutofamba handiti. Ko why uchida kuemployewa isiri kuti be an employee? An employer, you would have kuzongoshandira mumwe.
But the party said it will create employment.
Excuse me.
Why did the party say that in the first place?
Okay, I'll answer your question, my dear friend.
Comrade Kunaka.
Okay.
I'm not in doubt that Zanu-PF yaka create my jobs.
How many?
I did not count them. but ndakaona kuchivakwa some houses kubudiriro down there with cabs, huh? And most of the young people were employed from that area. Ndakaona complex yaivakwa again along Beatrice Road. Inini ndindakatonosaina MOU nemunhu aivaka ipapo kuti ndini ndichapinza my youth basa from my ward.
But then do you see now a pattern iri vana pakomera kunaka ndekuti imimi muripo papa forefront pezvinhu izvi ndimi muri kubenefita ndimi muri muchitora zvinhu izvi muchizonopa vamwe munozozvidispute equally here manje.
Ini ndakaita equally. If you go muward mandogara and ask the young people there, they will tell you.
So per project yamutaura paBeatrice, how many youth vakabenefita so far?
450 on record.
Okay.
Go to City of Harare, they got it. Recently, City of Harare kwakapinda vanhu basa. Musuno Econet yakapinza, we call it Net 1. Yakatora mayouth vakapinda basa. But problem uri kunzwa yevari kuchema vaya vada kunoita mabenka ivo vasina maqualifications ekuva mabenka.
But comrade Kunaka, every from let's say from September till December, panoita graduation over 10,000 people vano graduate and vanhu ivavo vari kuti havana mabasa. Toita sei now?
We need to sit down with those young people.
Tovaonera kupa mabasa mueconomy yakadai.
It's not about kuti vawanire mabasa. They need to create jobs.
How do we create jobs?
We need to ask the government to put money there.
Where is the money coming from?
You borrow the money.
From where?
You borrow the money.
From where? When you don't have anyone willing to give money to Zimbabwe.
You see, World Bank.
Who go to China? Yes.
No,
you go to Russia.
He's
who
talking
just
about
to
China.
Asian countries. They are willing to help Zimbabwe.
All right, welcome back to the program Youth and the Road to 2018, where I have Comrade Jim Kunaka and Comrade Godfrey Tsenegamu, where we are talking about the youth and the road to 2018, on what youth can expect from, it could be Zanu-PF, it could be, any other politician. So I'll start with Comrade Jim Kunaka. You are from the ruling party, and you guys have been winning. You've been on a winning streak since 1980, right? Now, give me a good reason why we should be voting for Zanu-PF as my youth. What's there? What are you offering that you haven't said before since 1980?
Right. My youth is out there. They must come out in 2018 and vote for Zanu-PF because of our policies that we have. One, the empowerment policy to the young people. We are witnessing here today that at my age of 36, I've been empowered. So what stops you as well to be empowered? Nothing will stop you. As long as we vote for President R.G. Mugabe to be the president of this country. Two, there's peace in our country. You can't compare Zimbabwe and South Africa. The independence that we are enjoying today.
But that's been the song since 1980. Well, I wasn't there, but...
of course, we cannot move away from our ethics. Chivanu, chive. Takangokura tichizwa kuti iwewe unototsengerwa kana wazvarwa potsengerwa wosvipirwa mukanwa. Why imi muri kuda kuti isusu tibude mu-revolution reu yedu?
It's been tried, tested, and it has failed.
Some of
it has failed. In fact, most of it has failed.
Yes.
So now I'm asking, what's new? What can we expect? Something different?
What we only want now is the President, Comrade Mugabe, to finish up what he has started.
Okay. So the journey is still going on.
Yes. So we must give him a chance to finish up.
Since 1980?
Yes. We need to give him a chance. No, pakatepo munozazwa makamboita one. And it's like now. Makambotrova nema sanctions. Maona kuti mudharaunda nenyaya empowerment mukati regai mubrokers.
Okay.
And ndobva mamuhita and you expect kuti munyika muchaita civil war. Stuff like only kuti vanhu muZimbabwe vakadzidza and police again yakaunzwa nababa vamugabe because he is a teacher by profession. And nyaya education muno muZimbabwe taatopa danho repamusoro handiti. Saka chandiri kungokumbira ndechekuti ngatipei vamugabe mukana wokuti vapedzise program dzavo dzavakatanga. Kana dzapera, I think everyone will be happy.
Dzinopera here kana kuti it's a continuous process?
Aiwa, dzinopera izvi. Kuchema kwese kwamuri kuita nhasi kunopera. Pane pataakuda kunosvika. Regai Mozisi angoti yambutsa varume tipinde muKenani. Mataakunodya huchi nemukaka.
Amen. Alright.
Patabva ndokure, patava ndopapa
Papa
papedyo. Ngativape mukana wavo vamugabe vapedze. Then tozotaura zvimwe after that. Tozozviona ndichakuti after 10 years.
All right.
Hatina problem.
Right. I'll pose the same question to you, Comrade Tsenegamu. Imimi, I can say which Murugu represent my CSOs, my civil organizations, but you're also partly inclined to the opposition, if I may say, if you can allow me to say that. Okay. So, from the opposition and from the CSOs, what can we expect?
Okay, fine. I think like you have said, no, that's okay. I will show it to you that I'm leading a youth organization by the name Zimbabwe Youth Assembly, which is an inclusive platform for young people, where we are bringing together young people from diverse backgrounds. I have a Zanu-PF background. I'm mingling with people who were formerly MDC or who are MDC, PDP, RDZ, or whatever, who are G40, who are Lacoste. I'm mingling with everyone, which is why today I'm with Comrade Jim Kunaka today, because I met him yesterday and we had a chat. My point is, like I said, President Mugabe played his part. It would be very, very unfair if we are to say he has done nothing. He played his part, and we must thank him for that. But the problem I now have with him is he is against continuity. He now seems to be against progress.
Okay.
He wants to do everything by himself. He has got his own legacy, and he thinks it is him alone who must protect his legacy. And it must end with him. This is where I have a challenge with him. I agree with him when he points at him as a Moses.
Yes.
Yeah, he can be our Moses in Zimbabwe. But remember, the biblical Moses didn't get to Canaan. Didn't take Israelites to Canaan. It was done by Joshua with the help of Caleb. So which is what these guys are not appreciating, that President Mugabe has done his part. He must preside over a process where another leader takes over from him. He assists that person to move on. It must be done whilst he is still here. This is where I have a problem. So, but now the challenge that we have in terms of voting for him again in 2018 is because for so long we have been stagnant. Yes, he brought this education that we have, fine. But the very same children that he helped to be educated are not benefiting anything from their education. They are not being employed. The environment they are living in is polarized. The economic environment is not conducive for them to do anything. His government is in disarray. There is a lot of disorder in government. Where you have this minister saying out this policy, the other minister comes out and contradicts what the other minister would have said. Where you have one VP being against each other's throat. Where you have even securocrats clashing with ministers clashing with securocrats. We are in this state because I think President Mugabe cannot do more than what he has done before. We must agree to it that, you see, nature is catching up with him. That's natural. It's a blessing that he has lived to this age. It's a blessing, and we must thank God for that.
Right.
But my issue is like you have heard, Comrade Jim's voice had been lowered when he was talking about what Zanu-PF has got for young people towards 2018. Why? Because there is nothing. There is absolutely nothing. You cannot continue to lie and lie and lie. You cannot continue to promise and promise and promise without fulfilling anything. Zanu-PF must be judged on the basis of their 2013 promises. Okay. People must adjudicate and say, has Zanu-PF managed to do what it promised in 2013? We cannot continue to rely on a war history. It's critical that we appreciate that our fathers and mothers went to war and fight for us. But they fought for freedom. Do we have freedom? Did they fight for nepotism? We have a government which has been built on the basis of nepotism, where you have people from a certain clan being in government. Right. Which is what I'm saying this because these are challenges that we have. So my last point is, even when you are driving, you cannot continue to drive giving 5 minutes to the view mirror and 2 minutes kumberi ashibudi. Unofanira kudrive wakatarisa kumberi kunyanya otiwe maseconds otarisa mumira kuti kumashure kuri kuyei. But like zvamadza kuna Comrade Jim anditika hapana chitsva chiri kuuya, tiri kungonzi chete nokuti no takasunungura nyika tikaunza dzidzo tikazode but takuda ka progress. Hongu dzidzo yakauya nyika ikauya hongu tasvika patasvika, but atisi kuda kuramba takamira patakamira, toda kuti timove. So which is what Zanu-PF is now failing to do, which I think zvaifanira kuti zviitwe even in someone from Zanu-PF, not necessarily anyone wandino supporter, but anyone aifanira kuyo nema fresh ideas kuti vanhu vamove vaende kupi, vaende kumberi. President Mugabe did his part, but problem yavaita ndeyekuti vakaveza mpini wavo zvakanaka, but vakuupedza nekuchechetedza so nekambezo vachita apa hapana kunaka, mirai ndina tsurudzi woveza veza apa hapana kunaka, kari kusara kaakashamu wanga uri mpini wanga wakanaka. So that's the challenge.
Interesting. Comrade Jim, ndoda kuya kwamura nditi but ndoda kubvunza nyaya ye-transition and succession within Zanu-PF. Imimi mesemuritu, you are alleged to be, from different factions. Comrade Tsenegamu is alleged to be from Lacoste, and you are alleged to be fronting the G40 Lacoste, right? Nyayo yema factions here. Aina zvairi kukanganisirira, especially I'm concerned about my youth. I just kukanganisirira development yema youth, especially within your party Zanu-PF.
Before that, ndoda kubatsira mukoma wangu padiki diki. We don't do vote buying.
Okay.
In Zanu-PF, where you ask us that, what are you offering for me to vote for you?
Okay.
Huh? I will end up lying to the people that mese nichakuvakira idzimba nichakutengera indege, each and every person in this country I will buy you a car and so forth. We just want people to be patriotic.
But in your dzimba yati ignore futika during elections it has happened with vananopiwa my stands.
We cannot just all of a sudden build millions of houses. We are going half by half, bit by bit
towards the elections.
We'll reach there.
Okay.
Recently, youth were given stands.
Vanovaka nei Comrade Kunaka?
We are coming up with an idea.
Yekuti vaone mari?
No.
Both kuvaka kunoda mari yakati wandei. And munyika hamuna mari.
Of course, there's no money in this country. So every planning, roads, sewer, water is being done by the government.
Okay.
Yours is just to look the money, to buy bricks, to buy cement, to buy sheets, to roof your house. Of which that's simple. Very simple.
All right. Okay. So now,
ndoda kuti nditi kuna mukoma, tiri kungoda kuti my youth are patriotic to their country, who are ready their country, their sovereignty. They are going to vote for Zanu-PF. All these opposition parties, they want to bring back our former colonizers to recolonize Zimbabwe again.
How, Comrade Kunaka? If
They are being funded by Europeans.
Regime change?
Yes.
Okay.
They must stop getting funded outside there. and they will die. They will collapse. That's why you are seeing infighting in opposition parties.
There's also infighting within Zanu-PF.
Okay,
That's normal for a big organization like Zanu-PF. That's normal. People must fight for positions.
For point of
If
interjection.
it was about to collapse, nobody would say, I want to be Chakati, I want to be Chakati in this organization. People would run away. But the reason that yekuti vanhu vari kutorovana Tsenegamu ari kutotsva kuti akomana dai ndadzokera kuZanu-PF asi ari kunyara. He must swallow his pride and say, guys, I'm back. I've swallowed my pride. And come back.
Okay.
Ditmas Mtaza is trying to swallow his pride as well to come back and rejoin Zanu-PF. It's because it's a very big organization. So that fight, it's normal.
So factions are normal.
That's normal in any organization. It's normal. Even here. Doing everything. That's normal in any organization.
Okay, all right.
You can fight for positions. But only, do you have the qualifications to be on that position? Simple. So those rungonetsa nyaya yekuti faction chichi hapana chinoti disturb. I have to remain focused. Okay, there is G40. There is what we call Lacoste. But inini ndasandamboona mutungamiriri weG40. Ndotongonzwa ichitaurwa neLacoste kuti kune chinhu chinonzi G40.
Lacoste yacho yamuritaura makamboona mutungamiriri.
Mutungamiriri wayo ndomuzivazve.
How do you know kuti ndiye mutungamiriri?
Kuti ndiye mutungamiriri wayo? Ash. Ausati wambomona branda kapu yake akainyora kuti boss. What's that? Huh? Hakuna zuva rinobuda rimwe risati ranyura. And remember, zuva rese rinodokera ku
West.
Richibudira ku
East.
East. Hakuna rinoti rimwe richitobuda uku rimwe richibuda uku. No. Tinotomirira rimwe rinyure rimwe robuda. Saka inini ndinoziva mutungamiriri weLacoste kuti ndinhingi.
But still, tiri panyaya yemafactions iyo ndiri kubvunza inini kuti amuoni here kuti zvinenge zviri kukanganisa development especially yevechidiki.
Aiwa kani zvinonzi bvongodzai mvura kuti igadzane.
Makomana.
Regai mvura iri kubvongodzwa inogadzana very soon. Musaone kushungo kunyarara kwavakaita mukati vakapusa kana kuti vakadi no. He's going to give the direction very, very, very soon. And you hear everyone achapinda muline. Ende musafunga kuti hanzi kana tikaita mafactions ndo pamuchatidya. Forget. Zanu-PF kana yasvika panguva yeelection inobatana. Zvimwe zvozouya later. But kana tasvika this election iyi iri kutouya takatowina. It's a delayed match.
Okay.
That's why you are seeing Changira ari kuchema nekuko kuti takatobirwa kudhara. Joyce ari kuchema nekuko ari kungorotomoka zvaari kungorotomoka. Hatisati tavhota wagozobirwa nguva itisati tavhota.
All right. I'll give the opportunity to Comrade Tsenegamu. You want to say something?
Okay, fine. Before I get to the current question, I wanted to say, as a follow-up to what Comrade Jim said in terms of youth expectations and why young people should vote for Zanu-PF or President Mugabe. You see, when one belongs to an opposition party, it does not translate to say that person is not patriotic.
Okay.
And it does not also mean when you belong to Zanu-PF, you are a patriot. There is a difference in that. You can belong to an opposition party and be a patriot, or vice versa. You can belong to Zanu-PF and be a patriot and vice versa. It must be known on that basis. So for Comrade Jim to say all patriotic citizens must vote for Zanu-PF, no, that's a misplaced statement. You see? So in terms of expectations of the young people, I've made it very clear that young people have got expectations which are generational, which expectations must be fulfilled. But the problem now is Zanu-PF, to be honest, has failed to do just that. Comrade Jim may choose, like he has rightly said, to to vote for President Mugabe. That's his constitutional right, which he's entitled to. But young people must have this time to sit down and think about their future. What is it that they want? How are they going to achieve that? And who gonna bring that to them? They have to look at that. Then for someone to say, we are going to build houses, that's a blue lie. When we have a whole government which has failed to finish off Tomlinson Depot flats over years, and now they say they want to build houses for millions of youths. How can that be possible? Such a cheap propaganda.
Like they said, they're going to get money from China.
No, how do you get money to China when China is giving you conditions to fulfill and you are not fulfilling those conditions?
What are the conditions?
We have been told that the president has signed mega deals, but nothing has materialized. To this day, we have a government which prides itself in saying it publicly that China has donated a new parliament. A whole nation having the pride to say, no, our own parliament is going to be built by another country. And you then come out and say, opposition parties must not get funding from foreigners. Zanu-PF did. For the record, Zanu-PF did. During the war, they went to Mozambique. They got assistance from Zambia, from Tanzania, from China, from Yugoslavia, from Russia. Those were foreign powers. Why did they, when you go to, why did they get that assistance in the first place during the war? So why should they think some other people must not get the same assistance that they got when they wanted to get power?
Are we in a situation?
I am not supporting interference by foreign nations in our sovereignty. No. But I'm saying the same, we have laws in Zimbabwe, which laws provide for financing of political parties. The government has failed to finance political parties as enshrined in the party constitution. There is nothing. How do you expect a government which is failing to pay its civil servants to build houses? Where do they get the money from? How do you expect a government which is sincere in terms of service delivery, which says it's sincere in terms of service delivery, but when it cannot even provide mere social needs for its people? So these are the challenges that we have. Then lastly, on the factional fights in Zanu-PF. Comrade Jim was saying it's normal to have factions. Well, even in a family situation, you have factions. There is no political party in Zimbabwe which doesn't have factions. Even in churches, there are factions. Even in a family set up as an institution, you have factions. Even at workplaces, like as rightly said, you have factions. But factions must be based on ideological differences. That these people are pushing a certain ideology, which these ones are against. It must be based on ideas. But the problem with the Zanu-PF factions is they've become more of personality cults. Not about ideas. These people saying, Tiriba Nengi. These other people saying, Tiriba Nengi. And this is the challenge that we have. And then for Comrade Jim to say factions are not affecting anything, no, I don't think he's being honest. Zanu-PF is a government, is a party in government. So these factional fights have got an effect in terms of service delivery on the government side. When you have VPs contradicting each other, one is for command agriculture, the other one is against command. It was in the Sunday Mail. You have another minister for command something, another minister is against command something. You have army generals for command something, you have ministers against a command something. So there is a lot of disorder in government, which is coming from Zanu-PF factionalism. So Zanu-PF factionalism is affecting progress on the side of the state, on the side of the nation. You get it? So Zanu-PF faction is because they are not agreeing on how to solve the succession problem in that party. You said, no, I'm alleged to be a Lacoste. You see, to be frank with you, fine, I, at some point, pushed Vice President Mnangagwa to be the Zanu-PF candidate and leader.
To take over from President Mugabe.
Yeah, to take over from President Mugabe. Why? Because I believe in continuity.
Okay.
You see, not because he had sent me. No, it must be on record.
Okay.
I had no interaction with the Vice President Mnangagwa. It was my opinion and remains my opinion.
All right.
It was also Vice President Mnangagwa's right to distance himself from me and to say I'm mad. From his point of view, I could be mad. Why? Because Vice President Mnangagwa and President Mugabe have got a relationship of more than 5 decades.
58 years to be precise.
Yeah, more than 50 years. So for anyone to think that Vice President Mnangagwa will rise against Vice President Mugabe, that remains a dream. It will not happen. But for when I was proposing that Vice President Mnangagwa takes over as ZANU-PF leader, it was not like a rebellion.
Okay.
I was proposing that on the basis of like being futuristic, to say if ZANU-PF is to continue as a party, there must be some process of transition. There must be some process of handover of power from one leader to the other and ensure that it happens smoothly. Maybe the way I could have proposed it could be wrong in the eyes of others, but for me, it was the proper thing to do. Then, to say there is nothing like Lacoste in Zanu-PF. Why? As much as I pushed the idea of Vice President Mnangagwa taking over from President Mugabe, I would team like Team Lacoste. Which is why, when, for me, example, gets into trouble, Vice President Mnangagwa does not come to my rescue. Why? Because he doesn't lead that team. He's not part of that arrangement.
Okay.
So for me to expect Vice President Mnangagwa to come and rescue me when I'm deep shit, it will not happen because he has never been part of the arrangement.
Okay.
You see, so it is because people continue to subscribe to politics of hate, politics of vengeance, that you'd have then certain people thinking that Vice President Mnangagwa leads what they term Team Lacoste. It's just a bunch of individuals who have one thing in common, who want to see a smooth transition of power from one leader to the other. And then you have the other guys pretending they don't want that, but when they also want that, but they don't want to be on the open.
So do you know the ringleader of G40, the alleged G40 faction?
No, fine. In terms of it being a proper faction with a leader, there is no proper leader.
But it exists.
No, it exists. In terms of having people who push in that idea, it really exists.
Okay.
So you'd, like he has rightly said, you'd have the likes of Jim saying those who peddle this idea are Lacoste. Then you have those who peddle a different thing saying it's G40. But there is no leader in terms of G40 or Lacoste. I've not seen any leader. I've seen people just quarreling over the succession matter, giving different views, giving different candidates.
All right, fine. As we...
Comrade Tsenegamu,
okay.
you need to be very...
Make it quick.
I think you are
Comrade.
aware that in 2014, you were still in December, you were still the Zanu-PF provincial youth chairman of Mashunari in Central. When you gathered at Robert Mugabe Square, when the conference endorses that the president, Comrade R.G. Mugabe, is our candidate 2018 elections, you were part and parcel of the conference. What makes you then all of a sudden and say, I think the president must give the baton to Mnangagwa? Why you didn't say it out at the conference? That's where leaders are being chosen. Why are you saying it now? When already the conference has endorsed Comrade R.G. Mugabe as the sole candidate.
Okay, fine. I'll give a quick answer to that one.
Let me explain. To me, I'm seeing you as a renegade who are trying to cause confusion within Zanu-PF.
Okay.
And you think it will collapse. And then you achieve your agendas. Then you're tough luck.
Okay, that's okay.
We are very aware of that.
Okay, I'll give you.
Listen, Tsenegamu.
No, you have.
Make it snap,
Listen.
comrades, because we have to round up this program.
Do you know Powaka proposed that ED should take over? Chakatanga kuya mind mangu ndechekuti shamari yangu yakakwana here yakutaura izvi nhasi when you have already said vamugabe, and which means inzira dzipi dzamuri kuda kushandisa kubvisa pavamugabe muchivagadza. Handiti here gara zviya unoziva bumbiro remutemo iwewe reZanu-PF. Kana tadaro muri kuda kuchinja a leader, tinofana kuenda kucongress, handizvo here? Mochuzazve munhu wamunoda kuti anga achizotungamirira party. Ko ngatimirirei nguva iyoyo ikwane. Hatisi kuramba, hatisi kutombozviramba izvi, but tiri kuti ngatiteerei procedure yeparty.
Okay, can I come in?
Yekuchinja nayo ma-leaders, but yenyu yekuda kushandisa chisimba, maakuda kushandisa kana kuti muri kuita coup here kana kuti muri kuda kuita chii. We are watching you. We will deal with you accordingly.
Is that a threat, comrade?
It's not a threat. We are ready to deal with those people who think they will topple the president using wrong means. Leaders should be subjected to the people, and they should be elected by the people.
And by dealing with them,
They
how are
want
we
to
going
force the President Mugabe to be a dictator by imposing or anointing. Remember, the more I anoint you, you become too powerful outside there. There will be two centers of power. When we agree as a party that we must have one power of center, one center of power. These guys, they've created another center from ED, which we are saying that must be stopped forthwith.
Okay, fine.
And if they continue doing that, we take them head on. We are not afraid of them. We are prepared.
Like I was
to stop
asking,
it.
how are you going to do that? How
Who
are you going
asked the president to tell the vice president to tell his people to shut up talking about the succession? We need to focus with the election year 2018.
Okay.
They want us to lose focus. And the enemy is busy mobilizing the ground. Because we'll be discussing about succession issue.
So you agree that these factional fights are causing, are derailing.
Why is it that is being talked about somebody who is out of Zanu-PF? Tsenegamu was expelled from Zanu-PF. He mustn't bothered about being mafights mumba mangu nemukadzi wangu uri kuda yasoda unyenga mukadzi wangu.
But munhu ari kunze anokwanisa kuappreciate more zviri kuitika mukati.
Tisiye wakatiramba. You divorced me. Saka ukandiona ndine chikombo musiyana neni. Saka tiri kuti Tsenegamu kwawakaenda chiita zvekupi zveikoko zvekurovana kwedu mumba medu isusu tichirwira hazvinei newe izvi. Even ukataza mapolitical party vanongotaura zvemuzanu-PF tiri kuti vakomana ndezvemumba medu tinozvigadzirisa isu pachezvedu. Imimi garai kupi kunze uko mutisiye tinayo strategy yekuzvigadzirisa. Ko ndiwo uda kundiudzira pano ndikuudza kuti tichazvigadzirisa sei?
Interesting.
No.
Right,
you must leave Zanu-PF sezvairi. Isusu we are prepared. Hatisi kutombohukura, hatiterere kuhukura kwembwa isusu. Tinoramba tichienda nepamudhuri ipapo. Because taakutoyambuka, so hatichacheuki muridzi.
We have to, wrap up this. It's been a long discussion that we have had. So, last chance to Comrade Tsenegamu and then we wrap it up.
Okay, fine. I think my response to the submission yaitwa na Comrade Jim ndeye kudai so. Comrade Jim vanofana kuzviziva kuti ini handina kupanduka muzanu-PF sezvavakaita ivo.
Okay.
Yeah, Comrade Jim is a renegade. Vakatopanduka muzanu-PF. Anditika vakabuda vakanojoina opposition party sempanduki
Okay.
vakadenounsa Zanu-PF pa AN7. It's on record. Vachitaura zvavaiita zvekurova vanhu kana kuponda vanhu. He confessed on his own. So
that's a subject for another day.
yeah, so it's on record kuti Comrade Jim mupanduki. So kana vakatombopanduka mupati, I don't think he has got any moral ground kuti vakriticize inini ndisina kupandukira mupati ndakaita zvekudzingwa. Ndakaita zvekudzingwa ini. Meaning to say kuti dai ndisina kudzingwa, I could be still part of Zanu-PF. Even ndine idea yangu iyoyo. I wanted to be part of it. But ava vakatochuza kupanduka. So he must know kuti no, I'm better off than him. Because I was expelled and nakupanduka. So he is the renegade.
Okay.
Then secondly,
Let me say to
no,
him,
secondly,
I never bought even a membership card.
No, I gave
what
you the chance.
What means I'm not a member?
No, I
I never
Alright,
joined
it's okay, comrade.
any other political party. Because I deny card.
no,
Alright,
not
let's
hold
give this
any
chance to
position.
Comrade.
I gave you the chance to say whatever that you were saying. So it must be my chance to respond. So then, secondly, I did not start pushing this idea when I was expelled from Zanu-PF. I thought it was time that the president of the party presides over the succession matter and puts it to rest, not by anointing anyone, not by appointing anyone, no. Because I know the party constitution. The party constitution is clear. A leader is elected at Congress. Fine, we had a Congress in 2014. It was an ordinary Congress. But an extraordinary Congress is provided for in the party constitution.
Okay.
We had an ordinary Congress in 2004, and we had an extraordinary Congress in 2007. 3 years after an ordinary Congress, where we had issues of Simba Makoni and some other people not agreeing to the idea of President Mugabe standing as a party candidate in 2008. A normal or an ordinary Congress was due in 2009, but it was called in 2007, which I thought what the party should have done. Like now, to say, okay, fine, there are some people within the party who think we must deal with this issue. Can we convene an extraordinary Congress? He seems to be knowing the constitution, but he's proving that he doesn't know, because an extraordinary Congress is provided for in the party constitution, and it's constitutional. It's not a coup. How do you talk of a coup in a party? How does a coup happen in a party? A coup happens at state level. My submission has been very clear.
You cannot force it to be done.
I submitted that.
When the party is not seeing it's necessary.
I submitted that President Mugabe presides over a party congress,
Okay.
not a cabinet meeting, not a parliamentary session, but a party congress. So his allegations of a coup are baseless and a nullity. There is nothing like that. Vanhu vapererwa fine vakutsvaga museve muuta, but chandinoda kuti nditaure ndechekuti why muna 2014 takati vamugabe vamire separty candidate tisati tasvika kune imwe congress pakati apa seni ndakuti hangu dai vaita kuti no pave nomwe leader zvakafanana nekuti imi vamutongwizo mukauya kumba kwangu muri muenzi anditika tinokugashirai, we celebrate your arrival, anditika tinotarisirawo kuti maybe mauya muchiti muchaita svondo kana mukazoitawo 9 days tinenge tichitarisira kuti maybe zvichaita akachaenda zvavo, muita 2 weeks 3 weeks 4 weeks gore, hatikubvunzei vamutongwizo kuti ko imi zvamaita overstay muchiri kudei panopo, and tinotarisirawo kuti njere yenyu ichakuudzai kuti no what we expected the leadership of the party to know. That is what we expected the party leader to know kuti no kunyangwe vanhu vandipa imwe term, but ininiwo ndinofanira kuziva kuti no ndasevhawo vanhu zvadini zvakwana, basa hariperi. So problem chete ndeyekuti ava vari kufunga kuti basa rinopera, even vamugabe handitika vasisipo, Zanu-PF icharamba ichienderera mberi, Zimbabwe haisi kuzovharwa because vamugabe havasisipo, there will be continuity. So my submission was I wanted to see a smooth transition in power. Why that? In conclusion, there is going to be disorder if President Mugabe leaves planet Earth joining his ancestors without solving the Zanu-PF succession problem. Why do I say so? Zanu-PF muna inonzi bvonda wapfonda matambiro evanhu vari mubhawa.
Komana.
Munhu wese izvozvi ukaenda hamuna order. Mumwe nemumwe ari kuti no ndakaenzana newe mukuru wedu chete ndipresident. Mazvake. Saka kana vamugabe vasisipo hapana order ichava mupati. Nekuti Jonathan Moyo anoti iwe Mnangagwa waiva central committee ndiri central committee. Tese tika-appointwa. Saka hapana mukuru wemumwe, you are my colleague, you are not my senior. Mpoko will do the same. Kasukero will do the same. Joao will do the same. Everyone will say, tese taiva ma MP, iwe ukaitwa minister, iwe ukaitwa inini ndikaitwa minister, iwe ukaitwa VP. Hauna kuelektwa kita VP. So hapana anenge aine mandate to preside over that period. So there will be chaos. But because Zanu-PF, like is rightly said, it's their internal affair. It's because they said it's their internal affair. I agree to that, which is why I no longer have anything to do with Zanu-PF, which is why I'm moving around with the youth agenda, uniting young people, uniting those of my generation to say, guys, can we come together and look at our issues and find solutions to our problems? It's their only baby, like is rightly said, and it's their funeral, they will attend it alone. I'm no longer part of them. Which is why I no longer move any partisan agenda. I'm no longer into any factional grouping. I'm no longer a member of any party. I'm an independent person. So whatever that I'm doing has got nothing to do with the Zanu-PF. I used to, and I'm no longer part to that because there is a lot of confusion there. He has said, I have no reason to go back to Zanu-PF. Do you know join a faction in uchingo ukamira neuyu wonzi wakufaction yakati ukadaira foni yeuyu wonzi wakufaction yakati. I don't want to go back to Zanu-PF. I was there. I don't want to be there anymore. Thank
Let
you.
It very clear kuti
just in short,
hakuna wadatonga in Zanu-PF.
Okay.
Ari kunyepa mukomana uyu.
Okay.
Andeti we are being guided by the constitution of the party. Vamugabe kana vakanzi nhasi havasisipo vari panyanga.
Zanu-PF
What
constitution
do
doesn't allow for demonstrations.
What will
they are
do
demonstrating in that
to just
party.
call for an extraordinary?
Who calls it?
It's very simple. The vice president
Is who? There is no.
is the second secretary of the party.
There is no acting president in Zanu-PF.
You know what? The constitution is very clear.
Zanu-PF does not
I
have.
think
The constitution gave the president Mugabe
we should have that debate some other
Let
time.
us allow
I will
him
have to
to
invite
have
you.
his last one.
I have to invite you to so that we can talk about
Why
that
are
one
you
because
sure
it's
this is
another
okay?
debate for another day.
It's assured.
Why?
I know.
Why do you think?
Ndiri
this is-
mwana wa
Alright,
Mumba.
Comrade Kunaka, comrade, it's fine, comrade Tsenegamu, it's
Ndiri mwana wa
fine. It's
Mumba.
okay, it's okay. I think we have to wrap up this.
Disorder itori kwamuri kuita uko akomana kuronga zvima-organization zvisingaperi. It will be thousands of these organizations but you solve nothing.
All right,
Which
all right,
is-
all
You're
right.
just trying to solicit money from business people, UN and European and so forth. Create as many as you want associations.
No, one thing that.
But Zanu-PF has built a very strong foundation since 1980.
No,
it
that's-
will take you years and years, 1,000 years
Okay,
to remove
fine.
us from power.
Okay, my last submission is Zanu-PF is an organization. In the same way that Zimbabwe Youth Assembly is an organization.
No.
They have a right.
Fine,
You
gentlemen.
don't have membership, my dear friend.
They
You don't have
have a
membership.
right to assemble.
Comrade Tsenegamu,
What's your
They-
membership?
No, they have a right to associate. And it's our constitutional right to gather under whatever umbrella, be there millions of them. It's our constitutional right. It's provided
Yeah,
for.
of course.
And our agenda remains a youth agenda.
But-
We are serving
but-
interests of young people,
What?
whether they are
Tsenegamu.
Zanu-PF, whether they are MDC, PDP, or NPP.
What do you have to offer to those youth that you are lying to?
We are not lying anything to the youths.
You're
It's
giving them
you.
nothing, my dear.
No, we don't need to give them
You just
anything.
want to go around being pompous, telling them that I've got this association, I've got this association.
All right, it's
And
okay.
they've got nothing
It's okay,
to offer
comrade
them.
Kunaka, it's okay, it's okay, it's
Okay, fine.
It's okay, it's
No,
fine, comrade.
my last submission has been that he was alleging that we are just doing this for the sake of money. No, look.
You're saying
But if you
Moyosapa
continue
is-
talking, we are never going to stop this.
No, that's okay. It's going to be my last statement. I promise that. It's our constitutional right, in the same as it is theirs to gather under Zanu-PF. Equally, he was challenging me to say, what do you have to offer? It must be his task to explain to people the way he has failed here to do what they are offering to young people because they have nothing. So as an organization, we are pushing a youth agenda, which has got nothing to do with parties. We are not for Zanu-PF or against Zanu-PF. We are not for MDC or against MDC or any other party. We are doing this for young people as a generation, trying to find each other so that we can agree on generational issues. So if we are to get, so if we are to get,
if you're just doing it just to
if
make people happy and laugh at you, it's okay.
If we are to get any support,
it's okay. Thank you.
Fine.
I hear you, my friend.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Just doing it for the
Thank
sake
you,
of
thank you,
doing
thank you,
it
Okay,
thank you,
fine.
Comrade
So
Kunaka. Thank you.
without anything to offer.
so Bamtongwizo, if we are to get any support from anywhere, it's our right.
All right, fine.
In the same way that Jim Kunaka gets support to go at the Zanu-PF provincial offices to log those offices when he is a cell member. He is going to the provincial offices to log provincial offices as a cell member. This guy is confused big time.
I need power. That's power.
All right. It's okay, gentlemen. It's okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a very interesting debate. It's been a very progressive discussion that we're having. The program was Youth and the Road to 2018. I hope to get this gentleman again on the program so that we can, continuously talk about such issues on this program. Yeah. Also, don't forget to use the hashtag ZimVotes18 on our social media platforms. That's at 263chat, and on Facebook it's also 263chat. It's been Youth and the Road to 2018. My name is Lovejoy.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter at 263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.